Hi, Ellen Saltzman.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Excellent. All right. Let me just expand this out just a little bit. There we go. And as more people come in, I'm going to be working on Lalo while everybody comes in. I'll show you what I'm working on. We're going to go over here. Oops, I always choose the wrong one. Come on, little computer. Delete copy. Yeah. So, yes. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait a second. Hi, everybody. Uh-huh. I think we could do it from here. Yes. So if I do a screen grab, if I do a screen grab, then we have this. And I can just choose the desktop too, and you can see the Lalo, right? This thing that has a 3 up on top right there. You see that? I'm going to start from the beginning. And then that's a fun one. So that's right there. And it's a D. It's basically just a D major scale that goes all the way up. So, and that note right there is an F sharp. So let's take a look at over at the notes on tenor clef. Hi everybody, welcome to the class. We're so glad you're here. Excellent. And you all have sound. You can hear me talking. Great. Let's all get tuned, and then we'll talk about tenor clef. Here's an A. Go ahead and play them. Make sure they sound exactly the same. I'm going to see you all here. Good. Everybody got a good A? All right. Looks like Daniel Hoffman's machine is muted.
Hi, can you hear us now?
We can hear you now. You're on. Right on.
Great. We're trying to. Huh?
Go ahead.
We're trying to slide a screen over, so my. Oh, here we go. That's better for us. Okay.
Great.
Great. Okay. You see it, Lucy? Are you in good shape now? Okay. Yeah. How do I do? You just press the green button. Right there. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Super. And then I'm going to also, yeah, we're recording. Yeah, we're recording the whole thing. This is great. So now let's all get an A, and then we'll do each string. Good. It sounds like we got some good A's in there. Now D's. Super. G's. And C's. C is always a fun one for those of you who are using headphones to listen to the output, because sometimes the cord will touch your cello and then it will provide extra sound. Let me see if I can fix my lighting just a little bit. There we go. All right. So glad to see you all in here. This is really fun. Okay. So we have this, and I close this. Okay. Dynamite. So let's see here. We got all tuned. And now what I'm going to do is let's talk about, need the Klingle. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's talk about Tenor Clef. And what I'm going to do is, I need to, boom. I need Lalo concertos. I need to figure out where this other thing is. Oh, let me just give it a moment. Are you seeing, by chance, a bunch of Klingle, like one page of Klingle, or are you seeing me?
Here.
Oh, me. Oh, okay. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. Oh, that explains that. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then are you seeing now a bunch of technical studies with some scales? Oh, good. Okay. So it's done by the screen. Now, let's take a look at, I'm going to come down here and into the 3-octave scales. Dry octave. Yep. There we go. Now, let's take a look at this top line here, and I'm going to expand it just a little bit so you can see it really, really well. This is a C major scale, okay? And you'll notice that we have this clef right here. Now, this clef basically tells you the middle of the clef right there is that it is a middle C, namely the same C that is here. Okay, now let's count the steps from this line up to that line. Ready? So here's 1, 2. The line is 3. Then the space 4, and then 5. So in tenor clef, the difference between tenor clef and bass clef is that it's basically 5 steps down, which means that it's kind of like playing one string higher, if you can. And so just think of it as like, oh, whenever I see that, it's just one string higher. I'm going to start one string higher than I would. So, for instance, if this were, let's see if I have any good examples of, here is a middle C right here coming down on the clef on there, and let's all play that middle C right where my right where the pointer is pointing directly at it. So we're going to play that C. And it's a second finger on the A string. Yeah, everybody plays second finger on the A string, C. Great. And now take a look over here. We have an F because we just changed into bass clef. And so let's play this F, second finger. That's great. Yeah. Super dynamite. Okay. So now I'm going to go back up over here to where we have just the same number of naturals and everything like that, and we'll go to the C major scale right here, and then we'll review with our G major scale that we had earlier on. So let's start with our lowest C, and then we're going to go all the way up through 2 octaves to second finger on the A string, and then we're going to go up over here onto the tenor clef, okay? And that tenor clef is just a continuation in pitches. Yeah, it's just a continuation of notes up. Ready? Everybody, let's play it. Ready, and C, D, E, F, G, B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and here's where we go up into 7th position, A, B, C. Now everybody find that C. It's gonna sound like this. And I'm pointing, I have the pointer over at that C right there, that very highest C. Okay, now those of you who know bass clef really well would say, hey, but wait, Mr. Hawkins, that's an F. But we're in tenor clef here, okay? And so what it is it's designed just to give us, so we don't have to look at so many ledger lines. And the ledger lines are these right over here. And sometimes instrumentalists will get used to reading like 5, 6, 7, 8 ledger lines, like violinists, they're used to reading that, but cellists, they kind of said, hey, wait a second, we can just use other clefs. So take a look over here, as long as I'm still screening. On this particular scale, we go up into tenor clef fairly early, and then we go into treble clef, and then we go all the way up to this high note, which is here. And then we come back down through tenor clef, through bass clef, and even though they look like they're skipping down each time, they are just going up by a step, okay? Great, so let's do this scale again, the C major scale right here. Ready, and. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, good job, F, 2, G, 4, A, 1, B, 2, C, 3. Now let's go back down. Let's take a little breath. Woo, here we go. Ready? And C3. Now, here's where your hand should be in relationship to the cello. To get a high note like that, it should be way up here. In fact, it's more than halfway up the string to get to that C. Okay, so if you're looking at the halfway mark, your first finger should be on the halfway mark, and then your third finger will be on the past there. Okay, ready everybody? Play that super high C, and my hand is stretched. Let me just pull out of this just a little bit. So my hand is going to be stretched like that far, and my thumb is going to sit back here on the neck, and then my first and second and third fingers are going to sit right up here. Yeah, and so my hand is going to be stretched out kind of like this. Can you all do that? Yeah, that's great. Okay, super. All right, now we're going to play that C again. I'm going to go back into this sharing, and then we're going to go into this page. There we go. Okay, ready? From the high C, and it's going to sound like this note. Ready? And B, A, G, F, E, C, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now we're going to go way down. Ready? B3, A1, G open, F4, 3, B, E, D1, and then we get to end with our big low note. Oh. Everybody play that big C. Notice how it vibrates your chest and your knees. That is the cool part about sound, is that it's actually shaking the air. And when you hear me, what I'm doing is I'm shaking the air, then it's going into a microphone. I'm going to come back out of this. Then it's going to go back into a microphone, and then that is going to go through the interwebs to you and out through a speaker that is shaking the air. Now that's complicated. A cello, however, is just this string that vibrates through the bridge to this piece of wood, which shakes the air directly. And that's why live sound sounds so amazing. Yeah, let's all play big C's again. Ready? And good. Now, tell me about the things that you are always sort of curious about the cello. Tell me the things that you're wondering, answers that you've had, or questions that you've had about the cello. You.
Me?
Yeah, sure.
Why do we have to use rosin?
Oh, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. So rosin rosin comes from tree sap, and we figured out a long time ago that it's sticky, right? Like when you touch a tree, you might, especially a pine tree, you might stick to it just a little bit, right? Well, we've been using rosin for and tree sap for a long time. In fact, there's a really tasty version of tree rosin. Do you know about that one? Syrup, yeah, from the maple tree, which, strangely enough, is what your cello is made out of. Is maple, not maple syrup, but maple wood. It's probably the most valuable. It's known as the singing tree, and luckily, it also creates sugar, a very sugary sap. Okay. Yes, good job, Cole, on that one. So it's just sticky, and so they said, well, you know, how are we going to make sound go across here? What do we have? We could use spider webs. That doesn't really work. We decided to use horsehair. That was just hanging around, right? And so they said, oh, we'll just take the horsehair off of their tails and off of their manes, and we'll use that. Okay. Then they said, well, how do we make it so it's grippy? And they said, tree sap. Isn't it crazy that people are just going out in the wilderness practically to figure out how to make their musical instruments? I think it's a fascinating thing, and good question. Probably more likely than not, your hair is nylon, but you might have horsehair hair, and the best horsehair, strangely enough, comes from France. I don't know if it's the language that the horses speak, but that seems to be where they come from. Any more questions? How about you? I'll just check my phone while I'm waiting for a question. Nobody? All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, think about them over the weekend. We won't have classes on Saturday. Oh, wait, today's Thursday. We got time. You might come up with something on Friday. Okay, so now let's practice our bouncy bows, okay? What we want to do is do a battuto bow at the point, and we're going to bounce it two times in a row, and we're going to catch it. Ready? I'm right out at the tip, and I'm letting it bounce twice, and then I'm catching it. There we go. And it can come from way up high. If you accidentally get three bounces, that's no problem. You know, like, oops, oh, that's no problem. I just want to see if you can grab two. So it's just two of those. I'm kind of goofing around a little bit. Now let's go to the middle of the bow, and let's see how it bounces differently. Also two bounces. Yep. Right in the middle of the bow. That's great. Yeah, super. Next, let's go to the balance point of the bow, and you got to figure out where your balance point is. And then you want the bow to bounce there. And typically that's about 1/4 to 1/3 of the way on a cello bow across. And now let's try bouncing it that way. Uh-oh. It bounces a little bit, doesn't it? That's hard, isn't it? Now let's take the bow and let's put it right over here at the frog. And let's bounce it. Ready? Bounce it twice. Oh, no. Everybody try it. Yeah. that's a real problem. It doesn't work at all. Okay, but out here, let's go out and just check it from here. That's like a really nice volleyball that you might bounce on the floor, or bouncy ball. Now, here's one of the things that we used to do as an experiment. I wonder how many times you could get the bow to bounce by itself. Watch this. So I'm just letting it bounce, and if I can get it to bounce all the way down, I'm just letting it bounce on its own, like a slinky down a sidewalk or down a stairs. Part of it is like sort of pushing the bow down towards the bridge. But notice what's happening to your hand. It is very loose. And you can just have it bounce like 10 times. I'm not sure that I'm even counting. Go for it. Tomorrow I'll show you a piece that is all about batuto. It like uses nothing but batuto. It's kind of crazy. It's by Sofia Gobaidulina, and she's a Russian composer. And yeah, it's just like a bunch of. And then I also have a piece that I wrote that involves a lot of batuto. That's available on all the streaming services. You can get it on, well, YouTube, but also Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, and look for. I think it's called Beaten. B-E-A-T-E-N, Beaten. And it's from a ballet that I wrote that has this kind of sound. Good. So the next thing is, so we've got bouncy, bouncy bows. Now what has happened, and the reason why I did this too, was that your bow hand is super loose, and it can be loose. And I wonder if we could all investigate our bow hole just a little bit, so that the thumb comes in sideways to the fingerboard, or to the frog. Then our second finger comes in over top. And then the other fingers come in as well, like this. And the pinky goes over. Look at this. The pinky, the violinists like to have the pinky up on top, but we cellists and bassists, we like to have it right down here. And the stick touches right in between these knuckles on each one of these, the stick on each one of these fingers, okay? And that way I can really bend quite a lot. Try that. See if you can hold the bow and then grab it and then drop it and grab it and drop it. Cool. Yeah, we can wiggle it around. A good bow hold, some of you who have seen me in person, a good bow hold is one that you can just grab out of my hand. Like it's super loose. And I say, hey, come grab my bow. And they'll grab it and it just like falls out. And they're always so surprised. And I want your bow hold to also be just as loose and relaxed as that. Yeah, good. So who wants to play something tomorrow? Maybe you've written something. Maybe you're working on a piece. You can play it for all of us, and we can all put you in galley view, and we can watch what you're doing. What do you think? Anybody want to play? Okay, I'm going to check my phone. Yeah, anybody want to raise their hand and maybe play something? Nobody? Nobody wants to play anything? You're just here to learn the big things. Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right then. It's fun. It's fun teaching you all. Let's go to the things that we were working on before, and namely, I'm going to send this over here, share this page. I'm going to send over here this little bit, and now get rid of get rid of this thing. Yep, delete this copy. And delete this copy. For some odd reason, I was creating extra ones. Shift Command S is to duplicate in preview, but it's share screen in Zoom, so I'm running into that trouble. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at, and do you all see the screen right here? Let's take a look at this. We learned our tenor clef, okay? So our very first note is a G, and our very first note goes here. Everybody play that G. It's up here where your thumb is, and this is called fourth position. Yep. And that G will be on the A string. Yeah, I love it. And then the next note, I'm going to come down over here like this. The next note will be an F sharp. That's right where this, put it right above that note. Then we have to slide back. This is going to be the B. That is usually the note on top of the staff. And that's just first finger. You might have a tape that tells you where it goes. Yeah. So let's do those first three notes. Are you ready? We're going to go G, then F sharp, then B. Everybody together? Ready? And F sharp, B. Good, that's great. Then the next note, we have to go up and we do a fourth finger on an E right here. Good. Next note is a D, second finger. Good. And then we're going to do a first finger to switch strings, even though it's straight across. Everybody play that G, first finger. Good. That's great. Then we're going to slide up and we're going to go to this one. All right. That's great. Many of you did it. Now let's play it. Ready? I don't care how bad it sounds. We're going to do it. Are you ready? And G. G, F sharp, B, E, D, C, A, 2, 3, B, C, 2, 3. Good. Yeah. Let's do that again. Ready? And G. G, F sharp, B, E, D, G, A, 2, 3. Great. You're learning a really big song there. That's great. Okay, super. The next thing I would like to do, and we got the first phrase, okay? And then what we'll do is we will learn this scale tomorrow, okay? So tell your friends, and so we'll have the entire first phrase. Next, I'm going to come over here, and let's go to our big scale of the week, which is G major. It's going to start right here, and it's going to go all the way to there, okay? So I wonder if there's a way to highlight. That's not the way to highlight. Anyway, it's this highlighted section. Let's see here. Highlight. Highlights and notes. Ooh. Can't highlight there. Underline text, strike through. It's not text. Oh well. You can see where it's here, and I'm going to make it as big as I possibly can. Ready?
Yeah.
How about that? Does that look good? So now we're going to start right here. I'm going to put it right here at the very top of the music, so it's the first two lines. Here we go. All right, ready and G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C natural, D, E, F sharp, G4, A1, B2, C1, D2, E1, F sharp 2, G3. Okay, now we're gonna relax a little bit. All right, now we're gonna come back down and G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, D, E, D, C, B, A, and G. Yeah, great job, everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna post this up to YouTube. It's gonna be public. Feel free to just put just look for coronavirus cello, and you should be able to find something fun that's involved there. Great job, everybody. We'll see you. Let's see here. Oops. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bring all your friends. We all want to play cello. Cello is the best. All right. Take care, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.